Okay, so there's your public disclaimer. So yeah, we will do show and tell tonight. The surf theme, we do not have any travel images submitted, so we won't go over that. And I will give you a little bit of a show and tell walkthrough on some of the safari photos that I took while we were on safari in Tanzania. I think the total count of images was around 7,550 images. And
Wow.
probably around 40 or 50 videos. So I did a fair amount of videos as well. And at some point over the next couple of months, I will produce about a 30-minute YouTube video. And as soon as I get that done, I'll send everybody the link to it.
Cool.
Yeah, so next month is sunsets. That should be an easy one. September is clouds and storms. So again, a couple of good months. We ought to be out there shooting it right now, as a matter of fact. And then October is night photography. So there are some good challenging themes coming up. I have a couple of things I'm working on for learning labs. I know Bernie's going to do something on brushes. If I get to it for August, I will show you some things on turning black and white images into color, which might be fun for some of you guys. But let's get to the show and tell images. And let me just move some things around here real quick. Here we go. George, you're up first.
So yeah, I was out at Charlotte Harbor Beach, and it was raining and windy, and this guy landed on the pier, and I referred to this as blustery, but Nance ratted me out and said it wasn't cold, and it wasn't, but he looks cold. So little blue.
Well, you know, if you want some lessons on how to add a few snowflakes into that image, I can show you.
I should have did. Some frost.
Well, I like it. It's really a really nice, sharp image. It's got good a good look on the bird. You've got captured some raindrops. Typically, you need about a 500th of a second to capture raindrops, so you did good there. And I think it's a really nice image.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oops, here we go. All right. Looks like you followed this bird around.
So I don't know if this is the same one or a different one, but he sat there. He wasn't doing anything interesting, so I just thought I'd go for a zoom in for a portrait up close and personal. So
cool. And tell us how you're doing your mats and your frames. Are you doing those in Photoshop or in some other software?
So Topaz, I bought the package back when somebody, probably you, Mike, suggested it about a year ago. Topaz, as everybody knows, they put on these package deals from time to time. And with my package came Topaz Studio 2, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And in it is a digital frame package. And this is pretty much brainless. I mean, you select digital frame and then color, shading, depth, done.
All right, very good. Looks great.
So a macro thing. I'm just out playing around with macros and took this shot. It looks like a blue bee. It's not. It's the shadow and the light, but I really like the way it played. And then I channeled Bernie. The two little buds on the upper left or upper right were added in for balance. Seems like every time I talk to Bernie, he shows me how to select and move and copy and make composites. So
Yep.
that's what I did there.
Yeah, it looks good.
Thanks. And I was sitting in my office chatting with a friend on the phone, and this red-shouldered hawk landed in the tree right outside my window. So I shot him through the window. So
That's great.
it's nice when you're sitting here with the camera and the bird poses for you. So
Yeah,
take advantage of it.
very good. All right, nice shots. Very, very
Thank you.
nice.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Norm, you are up next. Let's see here. You got some color going on here.
And just another day at the Punta Gorda History Park. And I do my framing mostly in
Best
can't
on.
think, Festone, yes.
Yep.
But I have what you use, George, so I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, it's under the look. Look, it's under looks, digital frame.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, boy, we may have to get back down there to History Park. Some nice crepe myrtle blooming.
You do great
Yeah.
flowers, Norm.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
That's right there by the Tribune office.
Yeah, right next to the Punta Gorda Library. This is
So
just,
where is this?
you know, I don't remember.
Or you won't tell us.
Someplace in the US,
That narrows it down.
but I really don't remember where I took these.
Oh, I see how you are.
No, this is at the park.
Nice. How'd you get the separation? Did you take this at night?
No, I zeroed in on the flowers. I didn't cut them out. I just in Photoshop, you can just pick what you want and then invert the photo, and you can do anything in the background.
Nice.
And
All right.
that's how I get the black or the different colors.
Wow.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Same with this one here. It was a very busy excuse me, background. So I just chose the flower and a couple of leaves,
Yeah.
and then inverted the photo and put a green background on.
And you got an ant.
I got an ant.
Nice.
Looks great.
Beautiful, Norm.
Very nice work, Norm.
Thank you.
All right, Vic, I'll do you next here, and then Robin. Let's see.
Yeah, this I took out at Boca Grande a couple of weeks ago with my daughter. Converted over to black and white.
Nice.
Like the S curve in there.
Yeah, cool clouds too.
And today George went out to the Boca Grande. I went out there that day also, and frigate birds were flying around right overhead, within 100 feet of us. So it got some nice shots.
Wow.
Nice. I love those birds.
What,
course, I
do you
use-
remember
Just
what lens you were shooting with?
70-200.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and I was used sky replacement on this one. It was a totally washed out sky.
Well done.
Nice.
It looks very nice.
Same with this one, same day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I might suggest
Very
on
nice.
this one. I might suggest on this one that you go back in and select the bird and just bring up the brightness in levels or something like that. Just bring up.
Yeah.
Wow.
And yesterday I was out at Spanish Point and went into the church and did the black and white. Put the camera on the floor. Water pot.
Wow.
That's such a nice spot out there. Really is.
Yeah.
It is, that's worth a field trip.
It is, definitely so.
I'm in. Where's it at, Nick?
Osprey.
Oh, okay. Okay, Robin.
Okay, this is Cape Cod. Obviously, we've had a lot of fog.
And what class of boat is that on the left? That's a class boat of some sort. It's not a Beagle, is it?
Like a little cat boat. Nunchucks, they like a little nunchuck.
Uh-huh.
I don't know the class.
Are those stars?
Pardon?
Are those stars?
I don't know.
Do you do any, what kind of post-processing do you do, Robin?
Yes, I just went from color to black and white, and that's it. Maybe a little bit of contrast. Not much contrast here, though.
In Photoshop or Lightroom, or what software? are you
Oh,
using?
Photoshop Elements. Elements.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna give you a suggestion on this one. Let me pull it up into Photoshop real quick. And you can do this in Elements as well.
Oh, cool.
Give me just a chance to get it brought up.
Robin, are
I
you
think that's-
bicycling or motorcycling?
Oh, bicycling. I'm in the north woods of Wisconsin. It's actually an hour earlier here. It's only 5:30
Okay.
here.
I think H.G. Wells said when he saw an adult on a bicycle, he had hope for civilization.
Okay, so,
It's
so
great.
Robin, I think that you've got a really potential for a really nice image with these three boats here.
Yes, yeah.
So you can do one of two things. You can crop in from the bottom right, or you can maybe do some, let's just see what happens if we do a content aware type of a thing. And yeah, that'll probably work. So that, and then grab the clone tool and just get rid of some of this extra stuff here. And granted, I'm doing kind of a quick job. I'm not sure about this. What do you think about this, Brian? This
I think you ought to move it over to the left, so it's under maybe that second mooring buoy. Because it would fill in that vacancy in the
Oh.
city there.
That's a good idea.
What is it?
It's a mooring.
Yeah, just slide that over if you can cut it and move it over to the left and up a bit.
Yeah, I'm actually just gonna copy and paste it because
That works.
if I cut it and move it, it will leave some empty stuff there. So where do you want it? Like right here?
Under the second buoy.
Right there?
Brian, you're muted. You're muted, Brian. Brian,
Brian.
Brian, you're muted.
We didn't hear a damn thing you
Oh.
said.
Sorry. Should be between the masts and down below those ships. Down a little more, not right. Right over the microphone. Keep going. Keep going now up a bit. About there, a little to the top right a little bit more. That's good.
All right.
Oh, that's
All right, so
better.
I'm gonna,
Gives you a little
I'm gonna add a
triangle.
mask. I'm gonna add a mask onto that and then just paint out some of the old stuff there. And then I'll go up to my clone copy and just do a quick clone job on this.
I'd then crop it so that that boat back in the shadows is still in there. And then take off some of the vacant space on the right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that looks good. Maybe a little more off the right. That's good.
What about this boat on the left here? I'm not real big fan of that one.
It's 6:30.
I think it gives you an idea. Oh, that one back there? Yeah, that one can go.
one-
I was thinking
yeah,
the complete boat is good. Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
good.
Nice.
All right, and then the only other thing I would suggest, let me duplicate all these layers and go into filter, camera raw filter. The only other thing I could suggest is that maybe we add a little bit of contrast here.
Try dehaze, Mike. I,
Yeah, I can do dehaze.
Can you do local contrast?
Sure.
And that boy, that mooring boy closest to the right-hand side could use a little more.
This one here. Right here.
Yep, that's it.
All right. All right, so let me do this. I'm going to go into quick selection tool and click on the button up here that says select subject. We'll see what it does. It should grab all the boats, which it did. And then I hit Alt key and I remove that selection, and then I just hit Shift and add selection there. And then I can do the same thing. Let me convert it to a smart object. And then I can do filter, camera raw filter. And I can do the dehaze first. And don't worry about what you're seeing in the background, that won't be there because I have a selection made on this.
Maybe a little heavy.
All right, we can fix that. That's why I made it the smart layer. There we go. How's that?
That looks better.
Cool.
Okay, so there you go, Robin. That's,
Nice. Thank you.
You make it full
Lauren.
screen now?
Let me save this as a PSD file, which you should be able to read. And I'll send it back to you. So here is before, and here's after.
nice.
And I think that is an image that you could enter in a lot of competitions and print and put on your wall. So good job.
There you go. Thank you.
All right, next one up. More boats.
More boats. Yeah, Woods Hole in Cape Cod.
You know, I'm not so sure that they're doing boating the right way up there in Massachusetts because I don't see any beer on those boats.
No
Yeah.
people, Mike.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but there should be beer on those boats without the people.
No, there's plenty of beer on those boats.
Okay.
Church. This is one of the church in downtown Falmouth.
What color are the blossoms on this?
Gosh, I think a light pink.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys something really fun and quick that is new in Photoshop. And I'll do a little bit more with it down the road. But it's a new plugin that they have. Oops. I'm going to share Photoshop. Here it is. And it's called Neural Filters. So I go to Filter, Neural Filters. And there's a thing down here called Colorize. And if I click on the Colorize button, let's just see what happens to this image. So we get a little bit of color.
Okay. Wait,
And so that's kind of cool. It has a variety of different other things in here, and I'll go through and I'll show them to you guys at some point down the road. But thought you'd like to see that. I've been
Could you
using
bring
it.
that one back up, Mike?
Yeah, hold on a second.
Yeah, the depth blur looks like a really good tool for the for composites.
I know you can change perspective with Photoshop and so on, but when you're taking a picture like this looks like it was taken with a wide angle lens and that the camera was tilted upwards. If you can try and keep the back of your camera perpendicular to the ground, a lot of times some of that perspective is cured.
yeah.
Yes. And
Thanks.
let's see, it's under geometry.
Yep.
And you can just pull it up like that.
I like the sticks at the right hand. In the upright menu at the end, all the way to the right.
I'm not sure what you're,
It's where it's under geometry, you see it says upright and there's like 5 icons
oh yeah.
all the way
over
to the
here.
right. Yep. Just click that. And now you draw lines on everything that should be straight and either horizontal or vertical. And when you're done, it straightens them.
Typically what I'll do first is hit auto. Let's
Okay.
see what happens there. Okay, so that didn't do a hell of a lot. So this, yeah, I mean, that.
Draw a
should be
line on the
straight.
tree. Yeah,
That should
Draw a
be
line on the
straight.
steeple.
there you go. You can draw multiple. Okay,
Whoa.
that's a little radical.
Oh,
That's a
let's
Halloween
do
witch's
this one
hat.
too.
Oh, man.
All right, that might not be the best choice
Yeah,
here.
okay, well, I think we've had our fun now.
Automation is wonderful.
Okay,
Anyhow, fun things that you can do in Photoshop when you're
I
bored.
guess so.
All right, let's see. I've got one other image for you, Robin, and let me pull it up. Here you go. I really like this one.
Oh, nice.
Okay, this is, I think I did still like a silver tone, kind of looks, this is Woods Hole. I was thinking if I took off motors off the boats, if I clipped some of the motor boats off, it looked like an old picture.
Yeah, one of the
Uh,
things I teach in my classes and workshops a lot is making sure that things are level and straight.
Oh,
and
yes,
upright. And so you have a little bit of work to do there, but overall, there's a lot of really good balancing elements in this, and the eye really wants to stay within this scene and see what's going to happen. I like the fact that you've done it in black and white, so good job there.
If you just crop that one boat off on the right, I think it would look.
Yeah, yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Maybe a little
I
off the
probably
top, keep the
did.
same aspect ratio.
yeah. Thanks.
All right, next up is surf and themes, and I think I'll start with Vic first. Vic always ends up at the bottom of the pile because his parents decided to name him Vic. And he never decided to change it, so.
Oh, nice.
And I don't see Vic. Where are you, Vic? All right. Vic takes a pass for this round. We'll come back to him in just a minute. He must
He's
have left.
muted up there.
Well, he's also, oh, Vic, there you are.
Oh,
Come back to us. Come back to us.
Walking across the water trick was good.
Yeah.
We thought maybe you had gone for another beverage, but we're up to your images for your surf images here.
Right. This was taken out Boca Grande. Just one of the images with faster shutter speed.
I like it. Very nice.
And this is using a 10-stop and a 3-stop filter on there to mute the water.
I
That's
love
great.
that.
That's a great shot.
I really love it. You've got some noise in here and you've got some lens spots on your image. that
Yeah.
You may want
Do something with
to
that.
get your sensor cleaned, but you know, your image is with the exception of it not being 100% level, it's a really, really nice image.
How many seconds do you think?
I forgot. I think it was like about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that curl.
yeah.
Yeah. You never see that over here.
No. And you see the water wasn't pretty. It's green and the beach is full of weeds, but we had to
Yeah.
surf.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get a couple of those shots next month in Hawaii.
Yeah, I bet it'll look better.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if you're a baby turtle, you decide not to be born during that.
Actually, I'm going up to Turtle Bay and should be a lot of surfers up there should get some good shots.
Nice.
All right. Very good.
Thank
Good
you.
job. Very nice. Let's see. George, we'll go with you next. Okay.
So this is a beach shot, getting a wave with the pier in the background. As you can see, the water was not pretty and full of weeds, but I did catch a wave with some movement.
Yeah, it really is nice. And I'm gonna pull it up in Photoshop because I think you've got a couple of potential cropping suggestions, at least on my part.
No, good,
And-
because I struggle with cropping.
We can kind of decide where you want to go from there, but I'm thinking you don't need that much sky. And I'm also thinking you don't need that much shore. You just need enough to show that there is a break point between the tide area. So I might even say that might be a better crop, but
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
that's, you know, that's just how I would do it.
No, thank you. I like the long aspect ratios.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go like way up here.
Right, right.
That makes it too skinny, but right here, I think does a pretty good job.
Thanks.
One of these days, I'm gonna have to figure out how to share two softwares at the same time, and that way I can bring up Photoshop and Bridge at the same time, but
If you share the screen, you should be able to alt tab between the two programs.
yeah. Okay, where am I here? There we go. Are you seeing that?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay,
So as you know, we didn't get much surfing. So I was at the beach one day and there were pretty clouds and we had the 6-inch rollers coming in and I just like this picture. So this is my surf picture.
I can't tell you how many pictures I have like this from my iPhone because I rarely take my good cameras out to the beach. But yeah, I like it too.
And I have a lot on my iPhone as well. Yeah. And then here is another 4-inch wave breaking. So
I think
yeah.
you missed a macro opportunity here, George. You could have done macro.
Oh no, I didn't. You wait till the next shot.
I think Chris is right. I think we should play a joke on Bernie and do one of his little routines on it. There you go.
So Bob and I were out offshore the other day, yesterday,
Yesterday.
Oh,
and I was like, Bob, I'm pretty sure that looks like a water spout. We saw it too, actually, and we decided to leave. We were about 8 miles out. So
wow.
All right. Well, that's great. You should send that to the weatherman and, get your name in big lights.
Awesome.
yeah, I don't know about that, but I was glad to get a shot. The
Wow.
boat was rocking pretty hard, actually. It doesn't look like it from the surf, but it was really hard because this was actually quite a ways away, but it was hard to track the subject and get the shot and keep our balance. But
That's an awesome. You should have saved that one for clouds.
you
Yeah,
know,
Oh, that's crazy.
So how was the fishing?
we got enough for dinner, so you can't complain. And
All right.
Fishing was great until we saw the funnel cloud and then we left.
Yep. So this is my favorite one, I think.
I like that.
So this is a GoPro. Again,
Wow.
it's a 4-inch wave. And I stuck that thing right down almost on the sand. And yeah, I thought it was an interesting perspective.
I think we need to get one of Bernie's dinosaurs or army men or something. But that shows a lot of hard work on getting some neat shots where surf is not always the most available thing around there.
Thanks.
So good job.
Thanks.
All
Wow.
right, Robin, you are up next, and let's see here. Here we go. Robin, can you see this?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. That's Cape Cod. What was I think we had some of the storms came up from the south, and we had some bigger than 4-inch waves.
I'm bragging.
Nice light.
Yeah, great light shot.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, so trying to get that curl, I couldn't. Just got. Oops. Yeah, that. It was hard. There we go.
A lot of junk in that water.
Oh yeah, it was a storm coming up and lots of stuff, but I kind of like the crest of the wave or whatever coming down.
You guys need to sift your water up there.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Good job. And Mr. Glenn, let's see here.
Mike, I had nothing. I pulled a few pictures out of the archives, and you would think with
Well-
a hurricane going up the Gulf Coast, that you'd have some waves, wouldn't you? Some surf?
Well, yeah, you would think so. So you've got a skimmer.
Yep.
That's a nice shot. Very nice shot. Hard to get.
This, I don't know how, I guess the guy moved. He was holding up a young boy. But anyhow, I went to get a surf shot, and this is what I got. That's, not a whole lot of surf, but there was this very good looking sailboat came out, a ketch. It's got a Hershoff name attached to it. But anyhow, I'm no Galen Rowell. I wasn't going to run a mile to line him up with the sunset. So he turned around and came back. So I realized that he's doing these sunset tours.
Yeah.
So I went out there to see if that boat would come out again, and a different boat that came out that wasn't nearly as pretty. But anyhow, I don't look at my pictures usually after I take them, or I would have done that again. The guy with the kids kind of messed up. I can't imagine him moving faster than the water did. But that's a recent picture. The rest of these I just pulled out of the archives.
Nice.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right, well, thanks for submitting. I will show you a couple of quote unquote surf pictures that I took last week. You can decide for yourself whether or not it actually is surf.
Waves counts.
This was taken on the Serengeti. There were probably several thousand flamingos there.
Wow.
Wow, they're different.
Yeah,
Yeah, pink eyes.
this white one is called the lesser flamingo or something like that. Brian, you're more of a bird expert than I am.
The only
You probably know
flamingos I know are the pink ones, and these, they don't usually have dark beaks like these do, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
looks like you got a couple different species there.
they did blast
Nice.
off a few times, so we got some nice flying shots. And I'll probably work on one of these a little bit more and maybe turn it into a print. We'll see. I really like it.
Beautiful.
All right, so there's my surf shots.
Makes George's 4-inch surf look huge.
Yeah, it does. All right, so I'm going to show you, let's see, I pulled about 45 images out real quick. I mean, there's a little bit of work done on some of these, but most of them are right out of the camera from my trip to Africa. We flew into Kilimanjaro Airport, which is in Tanzania. So from Chicago, it was about a 14-hour flight. And then they were happy enough to add a couple of extra legs onto it before we got there. So it turned into be a long day. I think this is like some kind of a parrot or lorikeet, but I only saw them once and there were two together. So I think they travel in pairs. So this is cropped up a little bit. I shot with two full frame Sony cameras. For the first 2 days, I had my 200 to 600 lens mounted on the A9, which is the quote unquote Sony's wildlife camera. And then I decided to go full res and put it on my A7R III, which is the high res camera. And I really like the way those turned out too. So I ended up spending the rest of the trip shooting with the long lens on the high res camera and the shorter wide lens on the wildlife camera. So I shot with a long lens and a landscape lens for the entire trip. And I'll show you pretty much how you position yourself in one of these Land Rovers that they take you out on the safaris with. So this is a crested crane. We saw these frequently all over. They're about the size of a great blue heron. Another wading bird, black ibis.
Mike, there's quite a bit of water in these pictures. Is this the wet season that you were there, or?
Well, here's the deal. When I went 2 years ago, it was fairly dry. The rains had started late. And let me explain a little bit what we did on our trip. So the first area we went to was called Tarangire National Park. Traditionally, it's a very lush, almost jungle-like type of setting. But it was dry this year. It was pretty dry. The second setting we went to was Ngorongoro Crater. And then the third setting we went to was the Serengeti, and we spent 5.5 days on the Serengeti. And quite frankly, I don't know where this was taken, but it was probably, oh boy, I think probably on the Serengeti. The Serengeti had a lot of rain. It was pretty green. Ngorongoro was pretty much the same. And there were rivers and pools and areas. I mean, I saw more damn hippos this year than you could shake a stick at. So that's for another presentation. I'll show you more hippos at some point. But there was a lot of water, so they are having a good year this year. They don't have water buffalo in Africa. They have what's called either a buffalo or a Cape buffalo. These are Cape buffalo, doing a little bit of sparring. Elephants will typically shield their young. This is probably maybe a 1.5 to 2 year old young elephant with a female member of the herd. Typically, the females will take care of the young elephants. And I love photographing elephants. I love photographing giraffes. And what I look for is I look for curves and texture and things like that. And I do have another one. I know I've harped and harped about showing animals or subjects in groups of 3. I do have one of those. I just didn't have time to get to it. So maybe I'll post it on Facebook and show it to you there when I get to it. Elephants are really good subjects for black and white. And elephants will eat damn near anything. They will eat dead grass. They will eat green grass. They will eat trees. They will eat acacias with thorns. They will eat the bark off of trees. I mean, these guys are eating machines. And I've got a whole video of a elephant pretty much stripping a tree. I'll show it to you at some point. Here's our little baby again. And again, you can notice that this elephant has got the big one has acacia because acacias all have thorns. And this is not cropped. I was probably, I don't know, 12 feet away. And I believe I took this with the wide angle. I was that close.
Were you up in the truck at that point?
Oh yeah. I've always got the top open and I'm up in the truck all the time. You never get out. The only time you get out is when you need to relieve the tire pressure, which is what the guy that's called taking care of nature's needs. This is one of my favorites. In the background, you'll see what's commonly called a sausage tree because it has this fruit that hangs down that looks like a sausage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, now this is real typical. There we go. This is very, very typical zebra behavior. They will cross necks like this, or they will rest their necks on each other, and they're both looking out for possible prey in other directions. Some of them will turn their back ends to you and look the other way. So I'll show you a few of those pictures as well. But I really like the way this one turned out. This guy is looking through some trees. I'll try to use the trees to frame him. See, they're always looking around. Everybody's looking for prey. This is one of those.
It's not too hard for them to find prey.
That one guy's pretty well fed.
Well, I'm telling you, there are 2 pregnant zebras here. The one who is hollering at me, and the one on the far right is also pregnant. So I would imagine that they have both delivered by now. They were very, very big.
How can you tell, Mike?
But zebras, they're just happy as can be. They just, they just hang out and they hang out with the wildebeest. The wildebeest eat different grass than the zebras. And so it's kind of a symbiotic relationship. They migrate together, and they both try to look out for each other. This is a shot that I really wanted to get. I really wanted to get a giraffe drinking. Last year at this watering hole, I got loads and loads and loads of elephants playing, and I really wanted to get a giraffe drinking this year, and so we were very happy when he was the only giraffe around. Usually they travel in smaller herds. And he wasn't really, careful with what he was drinking. He would spray out a whole bunch every now and then. This is one of those shots that I asked the driver to move the truck
It's 7 o'clock.
a little bit for me, because I saw the curvature of the tree. I saw the giraffe. I saw the other tree in the background. I'm like, okay, there's a really nice mix of subjects to interact with this giraffe. So I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. We did some sunrise shoots, and basically what you have to do is you have to shoot to get the sunrise color and then bring up the rest in post. And so that's how this was done. This was a little bit different approach. It was really still pretty light, and we were getting a lot of great color. So
Nice.
okay, now we get into the cats. These cheetah had pulled down a younger impala, and there were 3 cubs that were chowing on the impala while the mother was watching for any other prey who might come and steal the kill. And usually those would be like hyenas or possibly lions or cheetahs, something like that. Okay, at some point during the day, we came upon a group of cheetahs chasing this little animal called the dik-dik. It's a small animal, probably the size of a medium-sized dog. It's just yeah, that's what it is. And these guys were just kind of playing with it. Then the playing turned into something a little bit more serious. I have video of this as well, and I'll include that in the YouTube. Okay, this is one of the things I want to talk about as far as focusing. My camera has, I've got a really good camera, and my camera has the ability to place a single pixel or a group of pixels into a subject area to make sure that the focus on that area is 100% sharp. And that's what I did to get the lion's eyes tack sharp through the weaving grass here. So if those of you guys have that on your camera, I would really suggest you use it, because the people on my workshop, after 2 years of coaching them and talking to them about it, still weren't sure how to do it. And luckily we had a couple of Sony shooters. I was able to show them. I was able to show the Canon shooters. And I think the Pentax guy got his figured out. So this is how you get great shots of animals when they're hiding in the brush.
So Mike, is this the animal eye focus that you're using, or are you just using a point focus?
Both. Yeah. I'm using, I think the small, let's see, you're shooting the R4, Chris, or are you shooting the R3?
R3.
Okay, so same camera. I've got it set to animal eye focus. So the little white square is focused on the right eye, and I'm shooting right at the forehead with my my continuous focus point, and it's set for small, and I think it's set for small flexible. Most of the rest of the time I was shooting zone, but if you're shooting birds around here that are behind grass, or if you're doing a continuous shot, and I've showed some of you guys those before, this is how you do it. Another one.
Are these all handheld, Mike?
Everything is handheld. Yeah, you don't take a tripod to Africa. There's no room in the truck.
No bean bags or anything like that, or bean?
Yeah. I did take a bean bag, and I'll have to show you that at some point. I took a pod, and then I had my guide buy 10 pounds of beans, and we filled up dry bags for that, and it worked really well. I'm really happy with these pictures. When I went 2 years ago, Sony did not have the 200 to 600 lens available yet. So I shot with a 1 to 400, and I think I got better shots this time. So I have a whole series of shots about with this mother playing with the cub, lion cub. This is probably one of my favorites, and it's one I may print and probably enter into some competitions, because it just really shows them having a good time and playing, and I think it's a real cute shot.
I think the contrast between the animals and the very dark wood helps this a lot. It really stands out.
And by the way, I will do another learning lab on this at some point. I'm probably going to write a blog article on it, because I'm going to this workshop and this week-long shoot. I had been doing a lot of studying on shooting animals and wildlife with auto ISO. And so I decided to go for it this time, and I set my range of auto ISO from 125 to 2500 in most cases, and later on in the day I went to 3200. And then I was able to set a minimum shutter speed on my camera to 1/1000th of a second. And that made all the difference in the world when I was shooting at f8. So almost everything is at f8, with the exception of some really, really long range shots that are not this crisp and this clear. But the minimum shutter speed was 1/1000th, because you're hand holding this thing on a diesel truck. And as soon as you arrive on a scene, you need to start shooting. You need to be ready. And you know, there's a couple of other people moving around in the truck. So you have to manage the
a roller
wiggle.
coaster, and the camera's
Yeah.
sitting back here in front of two girls screaming their heart out of nowhere.
Okay, so
I mean, they're screaming. This thing is really moving. Seagull plants and stuff, flies right into the girl's face. She
okay,
has the
somebody's
bird
watching.
screaming away. The bird flies one way and not a mark on her.
Okay, somebody's watching
On her.
YouTube videos.
Yeah, that's what I meant. What are the chances of having a camera there?
Okay, I'm hearing a lot of background.
Yeah. All right. Okay. This is the Ngorongoro crater, and I've never seen this before. This is a Cape buffalo killed by a pride of lions. This shot was probably taken almost half a mile away from across the meadow. And the interesting part is that the only one eating on the kill was a small jackal. Maybe the lions had already eaten, but the Cape buffalo would not leave the member of their herd. And we watched this for quite a while, and it was a very interesting experience. This was shot with a 2 to 600 lens at 600 with a doubler on it, so I get 1200 millimeters, and then I set the camera up for crop exposure. So I got another 50% on that. So this is actually at 1800 millimeters. And it's not a 100% tack sharp, but it's sharp enough.
It was better than interrupting their dinner.
Yes. Yeah, because we couldn't get to it. So this is one of my favorite shots. We broke every African land speed record to get to this jaguar or this leopard. All the trucks have CB radios, and so when they heard there was a leopard out there, we came running. There were probably 5 other trucks there, and at the time the leopard was hiding in the grass, and so we were just waiting. It probably took 20 minutes before the leopard decided to get up on the log. And you know, it's a cat. Cats get up on things. And so I was real happy to get this shot. I really like it. And then I was real happy to get that shot.
How far away were you here, Mike?
Probably 30 feet.
Wow. Nice shot.
Maybe 40 feet. Yeah. So I really like these 2 shots. They're a lot of fun. And then there was the day when a cheetah came to visit us. We were out and we had talked about this early in the morning. Cheetahs, there's a lot of research vehicles that go out into the cheetah area and track the cheetahs and see what happens. And they're used to them jumping up on their trucks. And we had 2 trucks sitting there. These are 2 members of my workshop. And the cheetah jumped up on the back of the truck. And my guide is driving my truck. His partner is driving the other truck. And my guide's like, Mike, get this shot. We need it for the website. So he was very happy that we got the cheetah up on the truck. And the cheetah stayed up there for probably 4 or 5 minutes. There was another cheetah down below underneath the truck. I don't know if I have that. Yeah, there he is. And they hung out, and then they decided to leave. So it's a nice little showing that you can interact with the animals and not have to mess with them. The gentleman in the truck did not bring a change of underwear. This is my one view of a rhino that I can actually count as having taken a photograph of a rhino. Again, probably more than half a mile away with the doubler, 1800 millimeters, but I'm going to count it. So that was a good find. We visited a Maasai village. The Maasai are a nomadic tribe of Tanzania, and they move around to different areas to feed their cattle and their goats and their animals and things like that. And 2 years ago, we went to a different village, but they had moved. And so this is their other village. The huts are made with cow dung and elephant grass and pretty much anything else they can put together. And they have burning stoves in there. It's dark in there. I was in one a couple of years ago, and I was invited to come in, and I said, nope, that's all right. I'm too big. But several of the others went in. For $50 or $25, is it 25 or 50? It's $50 a carload. They will come out and they will talk to you and they will allow you to take their picture and they will do some dances. And this is one of the dances they were doing while we were there. They do this jumping kind of dance. We visited the children. They had about half a dozen kids in their school. We brought them school books, and they learned the alphabet, and they learned 3 different languages: Swahili, English, and their local tribal language. I don't know what that is. Nutrition is not great. Dental care doesn't exist. This is a young boy washing his face in the morning. One of the older tribal men just walking around. Red is the kind of the official color for the Maasai tribe. This woman must have come from a different tribe. When you decide that you're ready to, it's a polygamous tribe. So when you decide you're ready to take a wife, you have to give a dowry. And usually it's about 10 goats and a couple cattle and whatever, and that'll get you a wife. And they do balloon rides there for the low price of $600 per person. And that's all I've got for you right now.
Very nice, Mike.
So yeah, I
Interesting.
mean, like I said, I took about 7,500 pictures, and I have not done a lot of post-processing on many of them. I just didn't have time. I mean, you're in a one of these safari vans for sometimes 10 one day, 13 hours a day, and all you want to do when you get back to your tent or your lodge is take a shower, have a cold beer, eat something, and go to sleep. And that's the way it works. But anybody has any questions, I'll answer any questions. If not, then I think we are pretty well done.
Thanks, Mike.
I'm good, thanks.
That was
Thank you.
great. That
Nice
was really
photos.
beautiful. Thank you.
All right,
Enjoyed that.
we will
Yeah.
see you next time around. Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
Thanks,
Good night.
everyone.